Well, hello Arish, Falch Jack and Music at Madden's, Liumsa Lynette Faye. Welcome to another podcast from upstairs in Madden's Bar here, where we invite members of the traditional music family into the snug here and have a chat about all things music. There's no shortage of stories and no shortage of crack, that's for sure. New episodes drop every Monday and wherever you get your podcasts, and you can see us all on YouTube as well. And if you're discovering the podcast for the first time, well, there's loads and loads of episodes in our back catalogue, so you might want to go and keep yourself busy there and make an appointment with Music at Madden's for the foreseeable and have a listen to the podcast. Let us know also if there's anyone you think we should invite into the snug and have on the podcast. We're always open to suggestions, and I suppose that's the beautiful thing about this world of traditional music, is that it's a well that never runs dry. No shortage of brilliant people. Speaking of which, and whom, I've one of them now in the snug this week. Martha Guiney, flute player from Glen, County Down, is with me this week. How are you?
Good, Lynette. How are you?
You look like a woman who's petrified.
Oh, honest to God. Well, I've you to thank for protecting my dry January, because I'm just out of the ivy for a bridesmaid lunch. So you protected that. I'm still in the water. So what date is it? The 11th?
Lynette, the protector of dry January.
Of dry January, so thank you.
If only I could have
I was a bit worried about today. It's like, I might take a wee cocktail, and then the espressos come out and I was like, oh God, they look very good.
And you didn't?
I didn't.
Okay.
Yeah, I was very proud now.
You come over to Madden's instead.
Yeah.
You know, there's a bar downstairs whenever we finish, so you're going to have to be, we'll see how strong you are later.
It's quite a difference, isn't it? Copper needs to get a few plants in.
Tell me this, Madden's then, you know, coming to this bar, playing tunes here, what has it meant to you over the years?
Oh, it's sure everyone knows it's some spot, like downstairs and upstairs, good hearty tunes, and it's lovely to have that spot in Belfast, you know. And like I live in Glen, I'm not too far from the motorway, so it's really not far down the road at all, you know. And God, in Belfast now, it's great. You have your choice of tunes every day of the week, which is fantastic to see. And Madden's is really at the centre of that, you know.
Yeah, music every single night of the week. And, and then some. There's always something going on.
It's actually my second time here this week. I just remembered with Mullaghbawn there on Tuesday. So I was up playing a few tunes with Sinead McKenna and Alison Crossy and Lorraine and Adele. Yeah. So
that's a motley
and Erin Rose as well. She was there.
That's a motley crew and some bunch to be partnered with.
Oh, here. And there was even two boys that snuck in, but we'll say nothing about that.
That's all right. Should we need them?
Oh, it was good crack. It was good crack.
It's all about the friendship and the camaraderie.
Exactly.
And you managed not to break dry January there either.
No, I've been very good.
Martha.
See, I just need to take the car and then I have to.
Martha,
you know,
woman yourself.
I know, I'm very proud, Lynette. 11 days.
And you should be. And you should
very
be.
Proud.
Well, come here. I know it's one of these things whenever you're asked to come into the snug and have a chat. And then I think about how I know you, where I've met you, different things down through the years. And you're thinking about a point where we start the conversation.
Aye.
And I got to know you through the bursary scheme for the Arts Council and the BBC.
Yeah.
I'd known you before that, of course, but when you won that a number of years back, and I want to talk about that shortly on the show. But the flute, how did you start playing the flute in Glen? Who was the music person in Glen, and how did you start?
So we were very lucky. We had the Byrne sisters, you know, Ursula and Claire and Elaine, just up the road, stone's throw from my house, and they're fantastic musicians. Ursula, she is a very well-known fiddle player, and Claire is a very well-known piper and flute player and whistle. And Elaine, she plays piano, accordion, and piano then, obviously, as well. So I went to the whistle first with Claire, and then, God save the world, I did the fiddle for a while. Susan, my sister, she went to the fiddle, and she was good at it, and she stuck at it. But I think her Ursula was kind of like, stick her at the whistle for now. And my brother Daniel, he played the button accordion as well. So we're very lucky to have the Byrneses. You know, Mum and Dad always loved music, and my grandfather, he would have played a bit of fiddle as well. And although my dad's shy about it, he has a beautiful singing voice, so it's in his side as well, you know. So they always had the interest for it. And then sure, they were just delighted that the Byrneses were in Glen. We're so lucky that opened just that opened the can of worms.
So the Burns kind of took you under their wing.
They did. I did whistle. I did the fiddle for a good enough amount of time, a good few years now. But then stuck at the whistle, and I always wanted to do the flute. Like Mum always loved the flute, so she did. And well, then that's another story. I was very lucky then. Just when I started the whistle when I was about 4, and then when I was 6 or 7, maybe 7, Séamus Tansey had moved into up north, so I got him to teach me the flute then when I was ready to progress.
How long? When you were 6 or 7, you got Séamus Tansey
I was
to
very
teach
lucky,
you the flute.
very, very lucky.
How does that happen? Right, because you're a really young child,
Yeah.
and you're learning an instrument. How do you even understand that the likes of Séamus Tansey is around, and to seek him out and find him and ask him to be your tutor?
Well, Martha Guiney was good for finding out who was about music-wise. So she had heard that Séamus was about. And Mum and Dad always listened to his LPs and all, and they loved Séamus' flute playing. So they heard he was in the area. And then Barry Kerr, he actually went him too. And then another girl from Lurgan, Emer McGowan, probably heard of her. So he would have got the train down to Newry, and we would have met him in Newry and took him out to Glen, and would have had the whole day with him, so lucky. And then I would have dropped him home at the end of the day. But it was just magical. It wasn't just, it was just so special having a friend too in a different generation. He's one of my best friends, and it wasn't just flute, it wasn't just music. You were getting stories. He's a great singer as well, a great storyteller, as we all know. He's some character, and then the stories from Séamus. I remember I used to come out to the house, and Daddy would have said, right, before we're doing any lesson, I'll make him up a big fry. He loved a big fry. And oh my God, he would have sat down in the full fry there, and he used to say, have you any marmalade? And he would put the marmalade over the sausages. And the bacon and the egg had marmalade on top of the yolk, everything. Yeah, but do you know what? He was just a character. And then the pipe and the big laptop case with the flutes and the belt, the gun holster belt. He was just a character. But I just loved his visits to the house because they were so... It just took you back, and it calmed everything down, and really... for being such a young girl at the time, it was just so lovely to hear stories in that generation, because I never met my grandfathers. My mum and my daddies both died when they were very young, and he was like that older figure to me, like that grandfather figure, and I think that's maybe, other than the music and what all he passed down to me, that's probably why I really appreciated him, because it was like he was filling in that gap,
that's beautiful,
yeah,
Martha.
He really was.
And how long would you have been tutored by Séamus?
From I was 7 to, well, I'm 31 now, and Séamus passed away about, would it be 2 or 3 years now? Along, maybe, what would that be?
So it was a lifelong
thing? Yeah. Basically from, as I say, starting up the engine, he was my first flute tutor. And he took me down to Sam Murray's in Belfast. He knew Sam well, and he took me down there to pick out, or to get chatting to Sam about making my first flute. And I had a great day that day. I remember going to the John Hewitt and all for tunes. And it was so exciting, going down to Belfast, because I was so young. So he really, yeah. And over the years, I've been very lucky. I've had other flute teachers in between, the way you get master classes and that. I went for a while, once a month, to a girl, Jolene McGlean, from Armagh, and she was lovely. I went to Kay Webster for a long time too, and it was lovely getting a bit of everybody's style. Kay Webster, great technique. She taught me great technique, and then lovely tunes. Vincent Broderick tunes she used to give me. That's where I got all tunes from her. And so Kay, Claire, or Jolie McLean and Séamus Tansey. And then we went up to Armagh Pipers, Daniel, Susan and I, on a Monday. My poor mother trying to get us into the car on a Monday, God help her. But she says to me now, are you glad now?
And you are.
I am. I'm delighted now. God, they give us so much opportunity. But on a Monday, and you're just like, oh, I remember that journey to Armagh. But I had Conor Byrne there, so I did. I had him when I was in Armagh. I actually did the pipes at one stage there, believe it or not. poor Brian, he was probably torturing me in them
Just
times.
it's all coming out, it's all coming out today. But I'm
Yeah,
interested just to go back to the friendship, and then which was more than that really, I suppose, with
with
Séamus
Séamus,
Tansey.
yeah.
It almost sounds like he was a family member, like an adopted family
Oh,
member.
he was, yeah, yeah.
When you are so young and someone like that comes into your life, there's no way you can be aware of them and what they are and their notoriety or their, how they're viewed by other people. You just see them for what you see.
Yeah.
So do you remember there being a moment where you realised that, oh, Séamus is actually a big deal here. Séamus, and
Yeah.
oh my goodness, right? And he's been teaching me all these years. Was there a moment like that where you realised?
As I got older, to be honest, when I was younger, maybe because I was only 7, I always knew I was very lucky. Like, but when you're young, you do appreciate things. But my mum and dad would have been aware more of, oh, we're so lucky, to have him for Martha. But then as I did get a bit older, I was like, God, I'm so lucky to have Séamus, and he was just so down to earth. And I know, some people have certain opinions of people, but I just think in life, it's so important that you judge people for how you get them, and you don't judge someone for how someone else sees their character, It's just so important. And that's what I did with Séamus, and me and him got on the best. And the stories, and I'd actually, when I was in Dundalk, I did music from undergrad up in DKT, and I did my dissertation on him. And when I was interviewing him, I asked him, like, what was so special about the flute, and he just said that he loved the flute because it was the closest to the body, and when he was sad, it took the sorrow off your soul. And I always remember that, what he said about the flute. And he's just, his stories, everything. He loved the animals, and he used to teach me all these ornaments, and he used to say, this is called the chirp, whereas it's probably like a roll or a cluck or anything, but he had his own wee words for them. And it just made it all magical, especially as a child. He had a very good way of teaching. It was more like having the crack with someone.
Yeah.
But you were sneakily learning along the way.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. And as opposed to when you're a child, it's about enjoying. You remember how people and situations made you feel more than anything, don't you? And you can just see it in your eyes when you're thinking back to those conversations and those experiences with him, just how really special they were. You probably didn't even feel you were learning.
No, and I think that it's so important, especially for young ones, that you don't knock their confidence, and, that you encourage when you're teaching, no matter how things are going, you have to encourage, and he just did that all along. He just really encouraged me and just motivated me to stick at the flute, even when there was times, especially going through the teens, when you're like, oh, do you know that when you take some notions, sometimes you're like, I can't be bothered with this. But then Séamus comes out and you're like, this is the reason, it's all good for the soul.
That's a gorgeous relationship to have had.
It is, yeah.
And what do you think, about your style and the way you play? What do you think you got particularly from Séamus?
I would say, well, definitely, like anybody's playing this, a mix of what you get from your peers and people who've taught you. But from Séamus, I would say probably I'm quite a decorative player, and I got that from him. He'll be very decorative flute player, and it's
expressive,
very, yeah. So hopefully I'm able to pass on. I've got something from him anyway.
It's interesting though, because Séamus Tansey is from Sligo and from that rich tradition of flute playing in Sligo. And then in your music, you're very much a champion of Ulster tunes and Northern music. Where did that kind of meeting happen? I suppose from Séamus's perspective, was it more technique you learned from him, or an appreciation of the music, and then you developed your own repertoire after that?
Yeah, probably how to approach the tune from Séamus, I remember even like tunes, he used to start tunes in the second part, and he used to say, God, can you do that? And he said, there's no wrong. You can start the tune even though it's composed first and second part, but he used to say it gives it a good lift, and it gives people a kick up the arse, he used to say. But he's some crack, but just how you approach a tune, and definitely the ornamentation, like he always played up the octave. Definitely got that from him as well. But my repertoire, I love marches and I love good Ulster tunes too.
Lovely.
But I wouldn't constrain myself to one. I love learning from everybody, just taking a little bit from, you're never done learning, like,
Yeah.
never done.
I think that's
Never
part of the
done.
beauty of it, isn't it, though? No
Oh,
matter where you
yeah.
go, you're always picking something up.
Always picking something else up, but yeah.
This week's episode of Music at Madden's is brought to you by Pizza Works, North Belfast's #1 independent pizza shop, and one of my favourites, I can honestly say. It's an unfussy restaurant and it whips up classic and signature pizzas. There's chicken wings, goujons, all the dips, and all done with personality as well. Speedy delivery or collection 7 days a week, and you can follow on socials. Pizza Works, North Belfast. This week's episode of Music at Madden's is brought to you by Madden's Bar itself, the home of trad in Belfast City, where you'll find live music 7 nights a week. And as well as that, let me tell you what other things go on here in Madden's. Wednesday night is dancing night, set dancing and step dancing. Thursday nights, it's Gaelic agus Pinty. Slow session on the first Monday of every month. There's a teenage session on the first Sunday of every month. Kids come as far as Dublin to take part in that session. We have the Sunday song concerts upstairs here where we record the podcast on the first Sunday of every month. Ishka Vilfarsche, the Whiskey Club, is on the second Monday of every month. And of course, the Music at Madden's podcast, which is recorded here at least once a month. And the proceeds of the podcast go towards the Madden's Bursary Scheme, providing summer school scholarships for children and teenagers to music schools, festivals and Irish language courses in the Gaeltacht. So keep up to date. Follow Madden's Bar on socials, particularly Instagram and TikTok, and follow Music at Madden's as well for the crack. I always find it interesting about you though as well that you're from Glen,
Yeah.
family all from that area, but you have been playing a lot of music with musicians from South Armagh.
Oh, yeah.
I remember you were with Bridge Murphy.
Bridge Murphy, yeah, still
and
do a bit more.
Ray Canaan.
Yeah.
And that kind of area. What is the connection you have with South Armagh as a Down woman now, Martha?
Oh, aye. So my daddy he's from Forkhill. So he is.
Explains the whole lot.
Explains the whole lot.
And also explains why he's a singer.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Daddy is a beautiful voice. He just doesn't sing.
It's just in him.
In him, yeah. Music is really in him. But he's from, well, to go back again, my grandfather, so my dad's dad, Jim Guiney, he's from Kerry. So that's why Guiney's kind of unusual name up here. But they're from Listowel and Kerry. But then my grandfather, he moved over to Birmingham to work. And my granny, she was from Jonesborough. God help her.
What a story.
I know, and she moved over to Birmingham and she met my grandfather when they were working over there. And then, the way the girl usually gets the way where they live. So, well, they didn't go to Jonesborough, but they went to Forkhill. So my dad was born and reared in Forkhill. And then our place to go, my favourite place ever to play at was O'Hanlon's in Mullaghbawn. I just have great memories there. I've met great people there, like you said about Bridge Murphy, like she's a lifelong friend of mine. And then again, that's like dipping into the having friends in different generations.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about it all, probably the most. Like she's one of my best friends and she's my mum's age, and Rory Canaan, sure, Mickey Canaan, all the best characters up there. The stories we had from O'Hanlon's, you used to go up there in the summer when it was bright and leave when it was bright. Honest to God, some of the stories I'm not say here, but and even like I remember there was a fiddle up in the wall and Brian Nelly Murphy, he used to lift the fiddle down and play Hey Jude. It was all about the characters. There was great tunes and all, but it was the characters in the bar drinking. And there was a wee woman, Joan, I remember she used to sing a song about Maggie's drawers, she called it. They were tattered, they were torn. I'll not say the rest of it. And then there was a wee man, the characters, you really miss them. Like, I feel like I'm grieving O'Hanlon's. Francie Kelly, he would have been in there piping, but he had the harmonica in the pocket. And John Norton, he was the taxi man. He used to go in, the way that every place has like their driver for a place you can't get taxis, like Mullaghbawn. He used to come in and in between runs, he would have the car keys in his hand. He would have sang a song, the Banana Boat song. he would have sang that, like. But sure, it was great crack.
But I just love the fact that everybody's insanely talented and everybody has a
Yeah.
talent, and then that comes through in these, and
Yeah.
that O'Hanlon's gave everybody that platform.
Oh, it did.
To
It
be
did.
like that.
It's,
Because when
yeah.
we drove down past it the other day there,
Yeah.
we happened to be in Mullaghbawn, and whatever road we took, we came down, O'Hanlon's was on the left hand side, and you know, I did feel a wee pang of nostalgia, thinking, oh, so much has been lost there with that place.
Oh, honest to
when
God.
you see it now in such disrepair.
Like all them people in the one place. Mickey Canaan, what a legend. And then Rory with him, and Fergal O'Brien and Annie, his daughter. Oh my, if Bridge Quinn, Finbar McGee, like all in the one roof. The Conlons, Terry Senior, Terry Junior. It was just like mad crack, but the best. And Willie Duntonshire, of course, as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Some wild stories. God, I remember one night we were coming home, and we're just near Slieve Gullion, you know, the entrance, Slieve Gullion. And Connor, my husband now, he was driving. It's a really regrets driving that night. He was driving anyway, but the cops we thought they were stopping, but they were actually we thought they were telling us to go on, sorry, but they were actually stopping.
Right. Okay. That's an interesting mistake to make. Yeah.
What's going to happen here? So Connor drove on and all, and the next thing we hear an awful commotion outside, and they threw the spike chain down. The tire and the car was busting. They opened why they were probably thinking, why is this car from South Armagh doing a runner here, not stopping? But they took the keys out. God, it was poor Connor was shaking. But when he took the keys out of the ignition, he accidentally locked the door, but he was telling Daddy and Susan to get out of the back. But they were like, we can't get out. You have us locked in. And then he was going through the boot and all. My dad was thinking of his instrument. He watched the instruments there, and I was not thinking really of maybe doing time for not stopping at a checkpoint. But God, the stories were wild. And then the bonfires in the summer, you would have tunes round the fire outside. It was like he could have done all for one vouchers. Like he had a car wash, an undertaker's.
Yes.
I think there was a chip van, Stray Leaf.
I think there was absolutely everything on it, because we remember recording or filming an episode of Blascoil down in it years ago.
Yes.
And we actually used the lights that they used in the Undertakers to embalm the bodies. We were using those to get ready and to get ready for.
You didn't see anything, did you know?
It was the most surreal thing.
My God.
But at the same time, that's what made it so unique. It was just that you felt like you were just in another world, in another time. And do you think then that there's like you're talking there about Séamus Tansey and how you gravitated towards him, how you gravitate towards people from different generations, and you're always talking about the stories, the people, the characters.
Yeah.
Do you think there's like an old soul in you that is just attracted to that?
100%. Like, I feel like I was born into the wrong era. Honest to God, no, I love people of my own generation. I'm joking. No, I do. But I do. Like, who doesn't warm towards? If you don't warm towards that generation, there's something wrong.
I know. And then in your music, then does that also like instill a curiosity in you, because you're wanting to know the story of the tune, where it came from, how it's been passed down, how it's changed, maybe, and then you adding your take on it.
Definitely, you can. I suppose you have more heart when you're playing it than when you know the story. Now, honest to God, though, when I was younger, like I would have been very dismissive, like a lot of other youngsters, about what the actual story. But see, when you get older, you do want to know, where is it from? Like, why was it composed? Or there mightn't be any story at all, though. So it's just being somebody with a lack of notes,
Yeah, but well, there's that too, and that's okay as well, though, isn't it, Martha?
Absolutely.
But I think that's something that you come at with a bit more maturity when you get older, isn't it?
Yeah.
So whenever you went to Dundalk, you've been tutored by Séamus Tansey and others then for a number of years, going to the Armagh Pipers Club. It's becoming very clear very quickly that you're serious about this.
Oh yeah.
And you're bought in, you're invested.
Yeah.
In music, and particularly in the flute then. So then how do you take that to the next level, or what did you do in order to be Martha Guiney, who is recognised with a particular style of her own? Because you are.
I just kept at it, but it was really like Mum and Dad took us to all the festivals and the fla's, and then I think it was when I seen the social side of it, I stuck at it, and then it just sort of happened that I'm still playing, that sort of way. And you make friends. My friends circles too, that then when I seen they were stuck at it too, and how they enjoy it, it gives you the push on to keep at it too. But definitely, I think I stuck at it because I seen how enjoyable it is, and also, like, it's like a therapy. Like, music's a big part of our family, and when I'm thankful for mum and dad for giving us the opportunity for it, like, they are thankful for us for the music too, because it helps you through every time in life. Like, unfortunately, we've had our tragedy in our family too. My brother Patrick, and he passed away when he was 19, and like, music was a big part of grieving in our house, and and I can say that now as I'm a mother myself with a wee boy, that I'm so glad that I was able to do something for mum and dad to give them some comfort, and music definitely, the faith in the music, it just brings you through everything, really. There's not much it can't help.
Yeah.
But
it's part of you.
It's part of you, yeah.
It's part of you, but then you've also, you also have the ambition professionally with your music also then, Martha.
Yeah.
You recorded your album.
Yeah, I did,
The Raven's Call.
Yeah.
You, before that, the album was, I think it had been on the cards, I'd be right in saying, for a long time.
A long time, Lynette. Honestly, when I was like, this album is not getting done, like.
And then
I was sick of hearing about it myself.
But you put yourself out before you recorded it. You put yourself out there to go for the BBC Arts Council Young Musician Platform bursary.
It's a mouthful, isn't it?
I know. Don't.
Such a mouthful. Like,
don't. I don't know who came up with that idea.
I wonder, is there a new name for it now, or is it just still a big mouthful?
Jack Warnock, he came up with some sort of an abbreviation, and now that's even escaped me in this moment. But
YMPA, it'd be good, wouldn't it?
I laughed whenever he came up with it, because I thought, yeah, Jack, that's exactly what it needs. You're bang on here. But whenever you went for that, because that involved an audition.
Yeah,
you had an audition in front of, I think there was 4 of us. To play 2 pieces of music. You had to do an interview. It was daunting.
It was daunting, isn't it?
It's daunting. I can't remember where you did yours. Was it in Queen's?
No, Crescent Arts Centre.
Crescent Arts Centre.
Yeah,
it was Crescent Arts Centre. Yeah.
God, you were glad to get out of that room. as lovely as you all were, like, God, there's something, isn't there, about putting a table in front of yours? But when you're no matter how, like, I knew you all, do you know what I mean? But it's still like,
I think it's like competitions, when you know you're being judged, when you know there's a chance, there's a win, there's a lose situation. Yeah. It changes the dial on it a wee bit, doesn't it?
No, it really does.
But my point is, I suppose, is that you put yourself out there in that position, in that, to feel that discomfort, to try and win it. So why did you want to do that? Why did you want to put yourself out there in that way?
I suppose, like, the obvious side of it, to bring my music further, to literally give me the I really wanted to do the performance with the orchestra. I really wanted to do that. I almost forgot about the album because I was so fixated. I just wanted to do that.
That was part of the prize.
I was on what a night it was as well. But the album, I really did want to record, and it just said it would give me a good budget to, and then with the mentorship with yourself, was unbelievable too. So that would give me a good drive to work with you.
But what was it about the performing with the orchestra that you wanted to get involved in?
I just, playing with a full orchestra, it's just,
again, was it gorgeous. The challenge you sought?
Yeah, and just the feeling that you get. Like, I love listening to all musics. Like, I listen to classical and I listen to jazz, pop, like contemporary, whatever. But I love orchestral music, and you was like, I'm going to do a wee composition, get them to back me for it, and it was so magical. Like, it was lovely. Yeah. Yeah,
but to be on the stage of the Ulster Hall, playing your own tune, with the Ulster Orchestra, that's it was amazing. That is a moment. Like,
it was. It was definitely up there, one of the best. And then the proms was amazing too. It was COVID, so they did it on the boat. They just filmed on the boat out by Titanic Quarter, but it was class as well. There was so many. It was definitely a great award, and God, I got so much with it.
And did it, going for something like that and pushing yourself out of the comfort zone in that way, how did that leave its mark on you as a musician?
It made me go for things more. Like before I would have been, believe it or not, I'm not shy, but like I would have been shy, still would the odd time about saying yes to things or going for things. But it just pushed me on, because when I got the opportunities as they came, I was like, that's how good that feels. Why am I not, because sometimes I'd be quite lazy, could take the back seat, and not, I'd need someone to be like, pushing me for these things, but it did, and I needed that. And it got me new experiences playing with people who I wouldn't have played with before, And then, the album, I really enjoyed recording it in Belfast as well. It was just lovely, because I feel like Belfast is, even though South Armagh is like my home and my heart for music, but I love Belfast as well for tunes. So
Aye, there's a vibe and an energy to it for you.
there is, yeah.
And then how do you deal with disappointment if you push yourself forward for these things and it doesn't work out?
You just deal with it, because you learn. I think as you definitely, or for me, I would have been more disappointed when I was younger, but I think as you get a wee bit older and as you go for things, and if you don't get it, you learn from it. It's not to say that someone's better than you, or it's, people have different preferences, and you need to remember as well. I'm a firm believer, if your path's made out for you, and it's not your time then, and something else will come. And I find that a lot of times, only now I'm learning that if I don't get something, or if something doesn't come my way, I actually end up getting something through that wobbler that I love. Do you know what I mean? So I wouldn't have got that wee thing if it wasn't for the wobble or not getting something,
But if you didn't put yourself out there in the first place, none of that would happen.
No, you have to just grow. You have to be a wee bit brave and just go for it, because like nobody's going to walk you out the door.
You're not going to land at the front door and say, Martha, I need you.
Mummy would always say to me, and thank God for Mum and Dad. I'm so thankful for them for keeping me at things, because I probably could have faded into the background, that sort of way.
That's the thing as well, where they say about girls, particularly in the teenage years, it could be so easily to go off the scene, slide away from things and maybe not keep at it.
Yeah.
Did you feel that? Would you be grateful to your mummy and daddy for keeping you engaged?
I loved it so much always. I always would have kept at it, but for giving me the push to bring myself further and to go for the award. And I didn't even, if I'm honest, I didn't even really know that award was going, and Mummy told me about it. And then when I looked it up, I seen all about it. So I've them to thank, really. Yeah. So, yeah.
But I think that's just a really important thing. Yeah. But whenever you recorded the album, there was your own compositions on it.
Yeah.
And then you also leaned into musicians who you really admire. There was some trad tunes, but there were also a lot of compositions by flute players who you really respect.
Oh yeah.
So tell me about just the process of choosing the tunes that you wanted on your album. Was it all deliberate, or did these things just kind of fall in naturally?
Well, there was certain tunes. So I did the masters up in Limerick, and there was a lot of tunes I got there in UL, from different master tutors that I really loved. And I remember thinking at the time when I was there, God, if I ever do this album, I'll definitely include that in the set or whatever. But I had definitely a bunch of tunes that I wanted to do, but then I had some of them were kind of didn't go with the others, and I had and then it did push me to compose, which was good as well. So there's just like tunes from Barry Kerr and all sorts in there, and then there's some Breton music in it as well. I love Breton music too. There's some marches there too. You can't beat an Isle march. An album produced in Belfast, You have to have a march in it. And what else? Yeah, the composite. I loved composing, So I did a composition for my granny. We called her Foxy Roxy. She was good crack. She was in her 90s and she still wore makeup right to the end. Loved the boys. God, she was great crack.
That's a great tune.
Honest to God. That's what we called her. Her name was Roseanne, but she's Foxy Roxy. So she's the South Armagh one. She's the South Armagh gal.
Of course she is.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I know.
But that's brilliant that you could do that for your granny too.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And she's immortal then in that tune.
Exactly. Oh, she'll always be.
Foxy Roxy. It's brilliant. Who was she? I'll tell you who she was.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Some blade, I'm telling you. Kept us on our toes.
Let me tell you all about her.
Yeah.
And what do you get? So the composing then? Because again, that's another pushing out of the comfort zone thing too, because
Yeah.
you're laying a wee bit of a wee piece of yourself out there,
Yeah.
for public consumption and
I
for
know.
people to make their mind up whether they like it or
I
not.
know. I did one for, so I did that one for Foxy, and then one for my mum and my dad, and I did one for Connor as well. Actually, it's called, a bit cringe now, you're going to cringe at this. It's called Match Day because I met Connor at the All Ireland when Cork was playing down. So I did a march and I was like, sure, I'll do this one for him, and called it Match Day then. But and what else? Our Fake Risha, the album is Raven's Call because Fake Risha, it's the Raven. So the album was titled after our wee boy, our wee 5-year-old who keeps you on your toes.
Yes, we text each other
Yeah.
when we're in touch.
Yeah.
We're on socials or something going, yeah. I think we
Me
feel
too.
we're kind of in the same place. We're similar ages. My wee lassie's 6 and your wee boy's 5.
Yeah.
But you see, and funny, it was one of those things when I was thinking about coming into this chat today.
Yeah.
Because we have those wee exchanges
I know.
every so often, which make me laugh or make me feel seen, I have to say, Martha. It's a big help.
Definitely.
And I wondered, it's usually frowned upon to ask the woman, oh, and how does having a child change your life? Because you would never ask a man. But at the same time, for a woman, it does change everything.
time, everything.
How, like you've already mentioned, now that from the perspective of being a mother, you see particular things in a different way that you wouldn't have even considered before.
Yeah.
Having
And more
Fiacre.
appreciation for me, what my own parents did for me.
100%.
Times 6, Fiacre times 6.
You just look at them and think that there's not all superheroes wear capes.
I know how, but why? God, maybe don't include that.
It's only the truth that everybody thinks.
It is. I'm like, what?
But how's that? How has that changed you as a musician?
In a lot of ways, I know, right? This is going to sound bad, right? But I don't care as much. When you can care a lot what other people
I
think.
think that sounds brilliant.
I love it, Lynette. It's just because I know that I'll be rearing him to believe that. Don't you care what, or if you want to do something, whether it's musically or whatever, you do it because you love it. And you don't care about the people who, so that is probably the best thing musically it's taught me as well. But the other side it is like, if I'm asked to go away now, but things I do really miss him, and sometimes I don't like going away for the longer stints now. A couple of days is enough for me, but I admire anybody that does go out because I don't think there's any wrong did either. It just for me it's probably, I don't know, maybe because he's young and that, but you miss them, like, don't you, when you're
I think it's whenever you've come back after a couple of days, you see, you think in your mind that they've grown a foot taller.
Oh, you do, yeah.
When they haven't.
They feel different when you hug them when you come home.
There's all that, I can't lift you. Did you get heavier? Have you just gone up a size in clothes? There's all of that.
All of it.
But it does change the dynamic. But then with that not caring attitude, does that give you more confidence in your music? Does that give you more confidence as a performer?
It does, yeah. It does. Because you always have to think, like, I wouldn't want him to grow up feeling that way. Because there was times definitely where felt like I've had little confidence or, and you just have to go shake yourself there, Everybody.
Big girl pants, away you go.
And music, I always think music is to be enjoyed. And it's, it's there to be loved and good for everybody's souls. And everybody just, all you have to do is enjoy it and do what you love. And that's the most important thing, really, isn't it? Like,
yeah. What does music mean to you now then? Where are you in music now? Like, I know obviously you're still playing, you're still in sessions, you're still doing that sort of thing. But where is Martha Guiney now in her musical career?
I'm teaching a good bit and I love it. And it's good because majority is like the comfort from my own home. And I must say the students I have, they're all wee darlings. They're lovely. And I love it because I would be more keen. I don't mind group classes now, but I would prefer personally to do one-on-one because I think no one's really at the same level. And I don't mean standard-wise. I mean people have different directions.
Yeah.
People want different things. You know what I mean? And the thing I love about them all is they're keen to learn. And I think when someone's keen to learn, they'll go far, whether it is being a strong musician or just loving it, and all range, again, the age, the generation thing, You know, I've students from about 6 and 7 right up to there's my oldest student 63, you know, so it's like it's refreshing, you know, getting all the different ages as well. Like
You're just giving back as well in a way, aren't you?
no slots is the same. I was like, oh, I have to talk like a baby now. But yeah, and that's the thing too with group classes, isn't it? Like if there's a mix, sometimes it can be difficult, you know, with kids and adults. Although the adults are always great, I find festivals and that for, you know, if there's kids there, like But it's like, you know yourself, like you talk to kids a whole different way than you talk to adults, you know. But yeah, I love it. I do really love teaching, I must say now.
It's fantastic. But do you think with the teaching, you know, are you giving back a wee bit, you know, from all that brilliant time you spent with Tansey, with the rest of them, and all the brilliant teachers you've had down through the years? Like you've really learned from the best.
Yeah, you take what you love from all of them, and you just try and, you know, and then
make it yours.
And the student themselves, they can take whatever they want and whatever they don't want. You know what I mean? Up to them, whatever they love. That's what keeps them at it. So.
And then with Fakra, how do you approach music with him? Because I'm sure you want him to have music.
Okay, of course, yeah. Okay, I'd love it because it's a great, like I said earlier, it's a great therapy. You know, it's a great comfort blanket. God, it's like a big weighted blanket. I would love Faker to have music, but at the same time, I'll not push him at it either. If he doesn't want to, you know, if I send him at it and he doesn't want to, I would back off. But I would love to think that he would, like as we schools say, he loves music and all. So I don't know. He's still very young. Like he's too young to start yet.
Yeah. No, there's all of that, but that's the excitement of what's to come too, isn't it, Martha?
I know. Please God, God, he'll like it.
And then whenever you're teaching all those students with all the different ages and that, can you see like a new excitement about traditional music coming through? You know, we're living in an age now where we're on the crest of a wave here. There's definitely a revival.
Oh, big time,
you can feel it. There's a spirit that hasn't been there, and maybe it's the best it's ever been. You know, I don't know. I wasn't around in the 70s to compare to that one. But and all I know is that you feel now that there's a confidence, there's an excitement, there's a curiosity about traditional music, and it's the kids who are, you know, you go down to that children's session in Madden's here.
That's class.
The first Sunday of every month, and the standard is
amazing, and it's getting better and better and better.
I was going to say it's frightening.
It is frightening. No, it is frightening. You're like, what age? I know. Honest to God, but no, it's better than it's getting better and better every year. And it's like, it's cool now. See, when I was in school, like, oh my God, I remember like having to miss, like, you know, the fun fair and Paddy's Day and all, and you wanted to be cool with your friends, but I'd go and play traditional music somewhere, like, and it wasn't totally uncool, but it wasn't really, you know.
Yeah, but it's not like now where the kids say, I have a gig, and everyone else says, oh my God, what?
Yeah, but now that's like cool, and like it's a passport, and that's the big thing too. They're getting to see the world at such a young age. They're going into dance shows at such a young age. They're seeing the world that way too. They're meeting friends. For me, the friendships, I think you're like musicians are like a breed. Do you know what I mean? Like you're just on the same wavelength, or so, you know, you get each other as well. Like I've still keep in contact with our ladies friends, you know, from school. Of the wee group chat and all still going, and then I'm glad like I've my music friends as well, and the crack is brilliant in both, but just so different. Do you know? And I love having my wee music friends too. It's just nice. It's lovely to be able to like meet your friend and have a tune with them or go for tunes.
Yeah,
you know.
I love that. What you've just said there. It's about the breed and the type of person.
Oh, the breed. People are breeds.
But that's that's what we see here, like all the time in music at Madden's. Like people step in here, and you might know them really well. You might think you know them, but everybody feels that they know each other.
Yeah, like total strangers going in. Like when we would have went down to my cousins in Kerry, you know, would have went to a bar there and going in. You didn't know them, but like you knew the same tunes. It's a language. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's kind of odd in a way too, but in a beautiful way.
Oh,
isn't it?
Well, it's a very Irish way, isn't it?
Yeah, isn't it? You don't even know them. Like,
it doesn't matter.
My other friends, you know, if they've ever went to a session with me, do you know her? No, what? What do you mean you don't know her? You weirdo. Like it's just playing tunes.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Yeah.
It's just normal.
Yeah.
But it's great, isn't it?
A breed.
Yeah, it is a breed.
A breed.
Yeah.
Well, I am so glad that to be part of that breed.
Yeah.
And I'm so happy that you took the invitation to come up here today, because that was just a class chat. Thank you so much, Martha.
Thank you for having me as well.
You're most welcome.
Thank you. Always love having the chats with you. You good old crack.
Good old crack. I look forward to the next exchange now for about 5 to 8 in the morning, usually, with the school bag
and the school uniform ready and the lunch made. I'm hoping the dinner menu tomorrow will be good for fake
socks. The socks tobacco. What's that all about?
Lovely. Can't wait.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
To be continued. Martha Guiney, thanks a million.
Thank you. Thanks, Luke.